I'm no Andrew Lang, but
all right. Well, welcome to the Stiff Truth. This is Scott Casanova coming back at you again here with Bob West on the other side. How are we doing today, my friend, over there in, where are you at again? Rio Rancho, ass end of New Mexico. Are we doing okay? We loving life?
sure.
Cool.
It's good. I mean, it's as good as it can be in 2020. But we're getting ready for the holidays. I've got about all the decorations up I'm willing to do this year. So we've got that going for us. But I have stepped it up, and they're all hooked up to Alexa. So I just tell homegirl to turn the lights on. I'd say her name, but then she'll start talking to me.
That's how they always are. Just avoid that at all costs.
But on the plus side, if I start talking about tampons or something, I'll get tampon ads in Facebook. So that's great.
Perfect. Just what you need. A good variety of tampons to choose from. Always helpful. Well, I like that too. So you basically just say, Alexa, because I have a couple of them around here too, but you're like, Alexa, Christmas my house, bitch. And she does. Just Christmased. House has been Christmased, bitch. Is that how it goes?
So I have a lot of my lights hooked up. So in the morning when I walk downstairs, I'm just like, we'll say a word for anonymity.
Okay.
We'll say a word. Turn all of the lights on, right? And she'll turn them all on, and the Christmas lights and all that. But then I have to do, hey, a word. Turn off the Christmas lights, right? Because she also turns on, the lights in the front yard. And it's like, no, we don't need those during the daytime.
Interesting.
They're all LED, and it doesn't really cost much to run, but it's just, I don't want to be that guy. I have my lights on in daytime.
What's kind of creepy is I think I heard faintly in the background too. It was like, Bob, did you mean Alexa instead of a word? You're like,
right?
Creepy ass bitch. What are you doing? Fucking AI. Ay. Well, so good. You said now, and we just were talking about prior to the show starting, but you've done enough Christmasing. But yet you're getting crafty.
I just would like to tell everyone to, if you like what you're seeing and you like the show, remember to like and subscribe.
Oh, good.
It's somewhere over here, the subscribe button. So,
and if you
please get down.
If you listen on the podcast platforms, you won't hear it.
I'm just gonna make a little audio clip that says "subscribe, motherfucker," and it's just like a pop-up that pops up, so that we can just like make sure that everyone gets it. And it's gonna run after the credits. Subscribe, motherfucker.
Okay, now that we got that very important piece out, excuse me, I forgot. We got to get used to that, man. What are we doing today, Crafty? What are we doing today? Because it sounds like Christmas stuff, but you said you were done with Christmas stuff, so I'm kind of calling your bullshit.
Okay, so my wife has made some Christmas ornaments to commemorate 2020, right? So she ordered these clear balls for the tree, and inside she made miniature toilet paper rolls, right? And miniature face masks, and these little miniature Purell bottles. And she made all these things by hand, very, very crafty looking. But then she wants me to cut some vinyl for it that says like 2020, the year we stayed home, or whatever she wants me to cut. So I've got to make the vinyl for it and finish those things off. But they're so epic, dude. Just like the man, toilet paper and Purell and face masks. And then the other one has a coronavirus. She made an actual coronavirus. It's a ball with the red things going on. So we've been getting crafty up in this bitch, but we want to have the best 2020 Christmas ornaments ever next year in the year.
2020, the year of fucked, pretty much.
Yeah,
something of that nature. Got to come up with a nice little tagline for 2020 that kind of sums it up.
I would say that we've probably been fucked much less than some, but still, I mean, everyone in general needs some like ass tightening cream after this year.
Well, definitely you do. I know that's for sure. But hey, I mean, I don't know how that's different from any other year. I guess you just had to take a little bit more in 2020 being home all the time. So
I just have an excuse now. It's 2020, so get it over with.
Oh, people need to check out the YouTube video there. What Bob just simulated was quite entertaining for anybody, really. Fun for the whole family.
You so nasty.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? Let's just get out there and let's finally just join the excitement with the rest, and maybe shock to some people in the entire country. But this past week, it's official. It is absolutely official now for everybody out there, mouth breathers or not, that Joe Biden is president-elect. Boom, bang, bing, bong. Are you surprised? Are you shocked? Are you relieved? Are you overwhelmed?
We can rest easy because Putin has called it.
Yeah, he's called it.
Since President Vladimir Putin has now said Joe Biden is president, congratulated him. I believe he even called him.
Yeah.
So now we can all rest easy. You know, Putin's on board. We're good, right? We're good.
Finally. All right. Let's let it go.
Really, the story is Mitch McConnell's on board. So everyone else needs to fall in line or face the wrath of Mitch McConnell. That dude just got reelected. He's got 6 more years. So y'all better get in line with Mitch McConnell.
He's back in. He's in. I don't know if he has 6 more years in him. I mean, he looks. I was looking at him. This is just random, but you know how weird his face is with one, he looks like a turtle. He just kind of looks like a turtle. And then we talked about his turkey kind of ball bag neck that he's got going on there too.
That's called a waddle.
Yeah, the waddle. He's got the waddler. And I would say that's if there was a textbook section about the waddle, the picture of his is there as the kind of practical joke size waddle, because it's pretty intense. But I was watching him on TV the other day. It was just a still photo of him with a face mask on because they were going in somewhere, and it was so funny that how the face mask, just like the non-surgical ones, they pull open and they cover your chin and down here where you would even have facial hair. His entire waddle is hanging below the bottom of where the face mask goes, and you're like, Jesus Christ, dude, that guy's face is like a comic book character. He kind of reminds me of Earthworm Jim. Do you remember him? The video game?
Of course, yeah.
That's what he kind of reminded me of, and I was like, Jesus Christ. But you're right. I think we have talked about this numerous times on the show. But when Mitch McConnell does say, all right, enough with this, this charade here with what's going on with all the legal proceedings and trying to overturn the election one by one in all key swing states. He's like, all right, look, I'm going to have to work with this guy. It's time to move forward. And again, maybe a little bit separation from Trump, right? Because he was Trump's homie for the past 4 years. So I think everybody's getting the picture. Even Donald Trump.
A little bit. So
come on, give him a little. Give Donnie some.
We know that President Trump knows he lost. We know that. I mean, he's not actually deficient in learning. He doesn't actually have some sort of mental disorder. He is at least of average intelligence, and he knows what's happening around him. He knows he lost.
Can I do something real quick? I'll just layman's what you just said it very, very politically and very nicely. Trump is not 100% full-blown retard, is what you're saying, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Just want to make sure everybody got that out there. Proceed, sir.
I mean, he has obviously some sort of genetic phenotype of mental retardation that he passed down. It's recessive, but unfortunately Eric got it. But other than that, I think that he's at least of average intelligence, if not a little higher than average. But having said that, he will never admit that he has lost this election. He has made more money since October.
We talked about this,
begging,
I remember,
than he's ever had. This is the biggest financial success he's ever had throughout his whole adult career.
Oh, right? If only Daddy was here to see him now. You know,
he's
what I mean?
raised $500 million that he can literally take $300 or $400 million of that and just keep. As long as he's claiming it as income, he can use it however the fuck he wants. So that is his income. All he's got to do is pay taxes on it. Now I know Senor Presidente. That's a tough pill to swallow, paying taxes. But if he's willing to, he can get $300-400 million. And his net worth is what, under $2 billion, even with all of his assets combined with his liabilities. So, he's made 20-30% of his total net worth in the last 3 months. This is by far the biggest grift and financial endeavor he's ever pursued. So why would he stop and hit the brakes now? No, he needs to squeeze that fucking lemon until pulp comes out of it. He needs to squeeze that lemon until the rind is pushing out of it, right? That's what he's doing right now. So when he's talking about fighting for the election, let's be clear, the fight has ended. There is no more fight. At this point, he's now talking about, I'll use the military. Yeah, good luck, buddy. Watch how many generals are going to be right on board with that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
and be like, oh, cool. The lame duck president's going to want to use our army against American citizens. Get the fuck out of here, right? So his fight is over, but he's not going to admit that because he wants to squeeze every last dollar out of his base that he can. And it's sad that they're willing participants in this grift, because they're unwilling to realize that their messiah is fucking getting over on them, that this is all legitimate.
I'll just tell you, that just sounds really pathetic when you said it, but it's true though. Like their messiah, like literally what some people think about Trump. I was just thinking about that, even like, cause he's kind of been standing on this narrative the whole time too, that he's being so selfless with his acceptance of being the president of the United States. Like, I don't need this. I don't need the money. I'm not even going to take the pay, all that stuff, all these just empty kind of gestures or what have you, when at the end of the day, how profitable he's been is mind blowing. But I was just thinking about that stupid fucking hat, the Make America Great Again hat. I bet you he made millions of dollars just off of that one piece of clothing too, from people that make up his base. I don't want to
technically Eric did, because
that
money went to the money went to the Trump Foundation, which Eric has been led to scapegoat. Run. So
little slip.
when the attorney general starts to coming, they'll be coming for Eric. That's always nice of a father to push his son out in front of the bullet.
Well, I will say this. Out of the two brothers, I think Eric probably is the one that needs to take the more direct hits because he was built for it.
Looks like he's already had them.
Oh, the shallow end of the Trump pool. Anyways, but we talked about this a little bit here. What's next for Donnie? I've heard what he said. I think you're actually the one who informed me that he wants to start his own media network, like his own news network. Is that right. The plan?
He wants to be fucking Bloomberg, fucker. He wants to be the next Bloomberg.
Just
a far right extreme, conservative media. That's his dream.
So real news, right? Not fake news anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
If it can't be fact checked, and it's widely considered conspiracy, that's the ticket right there. That's what we're talking about.
Tune in, kids. All the Stiffies out there, get ready for it. Unadulterated, explicit, raw, real media coming at you soon.
He is going to find out, though, once you try to be a member of the Associated Press, that they're going to want facts and
all this fucking boring shit
and sources and all this other shit. So I think he's in for a rude awakening once that actually happens. But I don't know. He's toyed around with running in 2024, but
oh Jesus,
let's just call that what it is. I don't think he's going to be in any shape to run in 2024, and Biden won't either. Let's not say that there's a difference there. Neither one of these guys will be in any sort of shape to handle the rigor of campaigning again in 4 more years.
Well, you really can't start the pinnacle of your professional career in your mid to late 70s. That usually doesn't go over well with life expectancy for just humans in general right now.
I always wait till 10 years after I retire to get started.
I'm just a late bloomer when it comes to doing anything. So I worked over at the Kroger for 50 years as I was getting ready to become an engineer in my 80s. Yeah, sure.
Now, interesting thing, Laura Trump, Eric's wife, right? Which, he way outkicked his coverage on that. Good for you, Eric.
Well, I will say this, Laura, and please don't let me derail you on what you're talking about, but she seems really nice, like a nice, like more genuine type person out of all of the Trump and Trump associates in that little tight knit family. I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
She didn't grow up in the psychosis that is the Trump household.
That's what it is.
I mean,
Okay, so she's just entered the Lions. The
yeah,
Lions.
if you want a little bit of insight on that, read Mary Trump's book. I mean, she was in the family. She knows a lot about the inner workings, and she's a psychologist. So,
Well,
there's a lot of insight in that book.
One of my biggest barriers to entry reading that book is I have a really hard time reading really anything without the majority of the pages being full pictures
Of naked women. I got you. Oh, sorry, men.
Get it right, Bob. Okay.
You know what? Just naked humans. You're very fluid.
Hey, come to really think of it here. If I was Donnie J. Trump here, I'm saying ex-president, former president Donnie J. Trump, I probably would, knowing I was going to lose, but doing it for like a little publicity grab. That was nice. I like that. I would definitely run in 2024 if I was still able to form sentences. Why not? I mean, if whatever he's doing at that time in 3-4 years, whether it be he does launch his own media network or whatever, it's just going to give him more press, So I think it would be set up to fail. I mean, he's not obviously going to win the nomination for anything, but I see him doing that. The other thing I think would be really cool. Why doesn't he just like get back into reality TV and kick up like the new apprentice, presidential apprentice or some shit like that? I mean,
I don't even know if he needs a platform. I think if he just did a reality TV show of a crew that just kind of followed him around and is daily, kind of like the Jay Cutler and Kristen Cavallari did, right? I think that would be enough to where he could make, tens of millions of dollars a year off of that.
That's weird because he's kind of like, it's essentially what the Kardashians did, right? It's like,
right, yeah.
we're gonna just film our fucking selves and we're gonna like have 20 seasons on the E network or some shit of just people walking around. Yeah, I'd buy that. I don't know if I'd watch much of it because I don't know how many like scenes around McDonald's I could take or whatnot if you're just following Donnie around. But
I don't think he would do that just because I think he's going to stay out of the spotlight unless it's for political reasons and rallies and fundraising. Even if he's not running, he's going to say he's running to fundraise, right? And still get that money. He's already figured out the scheme that works. So guaranteed he does that. Whether he intends on winning or intends on being part of it at all, he probably hopes he's not, but as long as he can get another few hundred million, just telling people that he's gonna run and pretending to run and then just like shitting all over the primaries and throwing it basically so he doesn't have to win the primary, I could see that happening. Absolutely. Because then he doesn't have to go through the rigor. He still walks away with a few $100 million in cash. I could definitely see that. But circling back to Laura Trump.
Yes, please.
Laura
Sorry.
Trump says that she wants to run for Senate in North Carolina.
Okay.
Laura Trump. So,
I see that as a pretty decent endeavor for her.
By the way, if you remember your high school civics class, that would be called a carpet bagger, not to be confused with a carpet muncher. So carpet baggers are people that move somewhere with a bunch of money and knowing that they have a chance at winning a political race. Not too dissimilar from Loeffler in Georgia, another A-list carpetbagger. So she is actually from Illinois. But she moved down to Georgia after she married like the director of the New York Stock Exchange billionaire, right? And got a bunch of money and then essentially went and advertised and bought her way into the Senate. And by the way, she is the wealthiest member of the Senate. Little fact there.
Wow. Marrying like the director of the New York Stock Exchange is really like a whole new level of marrying for money. You know what I mean? You're literally marrying the money. That's interesting. I did not know that. But now
I'll try to get his official title here.
And that's carpet bagger opposed to a carpet muncher where you really don't have to have a lot of money and you don't have to go to any other states to do that. So interesting little comparison there. Uh-oh. We got Bobby doing some research here.
It's Jeffrey Speckler. Sprecher. Jeffrey Sprecher.
Jeffrey DeSprecher. DeSpreckenrich. Very nice.
He owns the New York Stock Exchange.
What the fuck? How do you do that? How do you do that? How does some people get these positions of power? It's crazy. What do you do? I own the stock market. Oh, interesting. How did you get that job? Well, my dad gave me a loan.
Yeah, he's worth like tens of billions of dollars.
Huh. Well,
So
interesting.
yeah.
Well, I'm interested to see what happens here because what I have noticed too is and don't get me wrong, I have not been glued to the news recently. I just haven't. Maybe I haven't had time, whatever. The holidays are taking precedent over sitting there cussing and getting, frustrated and stressed out about what's happening in the world when you know.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Redskins.
Football team, dick.
Oh, my bad. How racist of me.
Yeah. Don't be an asshole. But no, what I have heard on both channels, meaning like the liberal leaning media and Fox, like he's actually moving along and doing things in the White House that a normal president would do at this point in time when he was on his way out in January. He's signing bills or waiting on for him to do this. He's done a couple other things here and there. I just haven't heard too much really recently where he's being old Trumpy out there, acting a fool, being crazy, saying crazy shit. It's almost like I think he's used to the idea now and understands that this is not going to be another 4-year perpetuation of the Donnie show anymore. So I'm really interested to see what he does next. For some reason,
I mean, he's still out there saying the election was a fraud and he was cheated out of, the election and all this nonsense.
But he's lost. He's prefacing that with, "I've lost the election. It was definitely bullshit, but I lost."
Right. And of course he's saying that again, circling back because it's making him money. I would fucking say the same thing if I was making tens of millions of dollars a week off of it. I would say like pretty much anything in front of the news outlet. If I was making like $20 million a week to say it, I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe because I have a soul and a conscience, maybe it would get to me at some point. But
damn it, Bob, you literally just fucked up.
How many people out there would be like, did you lose the election? How much money are we still bringing in? 20 million a week? Fuck no, I didn't lose the election. I need money for court cases, guys. Do you have any court cases coming up? I'll get back to you on that. We're gathering evidence, but give me money. So a very interesting predicament. I guess it is kind of a moral dilemma. Like, where do you draw the line for money? Because, it is a lot of money. But then again, it's kind of tearing our country apart. Well, the rhetoric.
Yeah.
To some extent.
It's fading away though now. I think the announcement in the official ruling by the Electoral College kind of put the stamp on that, so to speak. But
I think Mitch McConnell's speech was super powerful. I don't think it's gotten enough run in the media as to how important that was. Like, the leader of the Republican Senate just said, "Hey, the Electoral College has spoken. Biden, Mr. President, elect." Right? And then so now you're seeing more of the hardcore Trumpers, like the Matt Gaetz of the world, which in the end, in the political world, Matt Gaetz doesn't really have dick for leverage for anything. He's just another representative out of 435 from Florida. I mean,
it's a little bit more FaceTime on Fox News.
He does, because he's, butthead.
Yeah. He does. Again, guy looks like a cartoon character. It's fantastic. There's some characters in Congress. That's for sure. You got Mitchie baby. You've got the stereotypical politician, which I think is interchangeable between Matt Gaetz and Mitt Romney. That fucking cheeseball look that he's got too.
Oh yeah, no, they could both be comic book characters of like a corrupt politician on like the Batman comic book series.
100%. In fact, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. That's what's in line for Mitt Romney then.
Coming next, 2021, real life Batman. It's coming.
Well, what Mitt Romney? He's moving to Gotham.
Right, it's gonna be Elon Musk.
Yeah, seriously.
He's gonna be the new Batman.
Well, I don't know, Bob. I'm already feeling like making a cocktail. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I mean, I don't know about you, but It's makes sense with my OCD too. It's next in line on our notes. I mean, everything is lining up.
And if I like moved it around, I'd totally fuck you up.
What a fucking dick. All of a sudden, we're just going through it. You're like, hey, we're going to stop and have a drink for the show. Nope. It's the last thing on the notes. So this is going to be a pretty sobering episode.
Well, that's it for the Stiff Truth. We're going to go drink. We'll be back later next week, I think. I don't know. The notes say so. It's like a politician that's like getting so used to reading the teleprompter that they just like try to say the mistyped word, right? Or the news anchor that'll just say like ketchupy because someone put an E on ketchup. And they're like, what is ketchup? Oh shit, I'm an idiot.
You know, those people, it's like who does that? Like the Anchorman thing, right? Like who put a question mark on the teleprompter? But honestly, those are probably the best. Those are the best in the business, best in the profession that can actually just say whatever's on there without thinking twice or questioning it. Think about that.
It's very structured and robotic.
That's very
it's
much
like,
so.
It's kind of like the whole content for us, right? It's good content every week, consistency. Same idea with a good newscaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good cadence, good consistency, good clarity. They have like the same inflection in their voice with something serious versus something funny because they don't realize it's funny until someone's in the back saying,
smile. Hey,
this is funny. Oh.
Have an expression.
It's like Tom Brokaw. Oh, I guess that's funny.
One more thing. I thought I'd bring up here because we haven't chatted about this. But have you heard the sound bites from Tom Cruise freaking the fuck out?
I haven't heard the audio.
Oh man, you are missing out. We should have chatted about it prior, but it's pretty funny. Now, granted, it's not like Christian Bale's freak out on set of Terminator Salvation or whatever, where he's like bitching out the boom mic guy or something like that
for chewing gum or something.
Yeah,
right?
something fucking ridiculous, very douchey of him. Tom Cruise was freaking out because they kept breaking COVID protocol, like during like the scenes and during on the set and whatever. They weren't wearing masks or whatever, and he's like freaking out. But of course, the craziness that is Tom Cruise, like behind that weird evil smile and giggle that he has.
Couch jumping mode.
Yeah.
Nice.
The insane was in his voice a little bit when he was yelling. You're like, whoa, he is nuts sounding. No wonder he loves Scientology. It's fun. It's fun for everybody. Stiffies. If you guys haven't, get out there, listen to the recent Tom Cruise audio clips where he is literally just freaking out and yelling at everybody, pointing people out. You, and you. It's pretty intense. It's great.
Maybe we can give some credits and we'll see if we can find a way to put it leading the show out. But no matter what, we'll definitely put a link in the description.
Good old Tom Cruise going nuts. Nothing wrong with that. Showing his true colors. I love it. Cool. Well, why don't we go make a festive drink? I'm hip. I'm with it.
Okay, it's the candy cane, right?
Yes.
We're going with the Stiffies and the milk.
I haven't made one yet, so let's go get dirty with it and see what we come up with.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Cheers, Scotty.
Oh, cheers all the way. Cheers to your tits.
Cheers for fears.
Oh, it's a great band.
Cheers for beers.
Cheers.
Recline that thing all the way back. Pour yourself a nice little bottle of bubbly.
Hey there, tits.
The buddy. I thought I was actually going to be the one that was tardy here. You were waiting on me because I literally had to go get, that's right, a rack of ribs out of the smoker because it was smoking. And I had to, baste them a little bit with some loveliness.
Humble brag.
let me finish my humble brag, but baste it a little bit with some loveliness, wrap it up in foil and put it back on that Traeger for another couple hours with the heat a little bit up. But I'll tell you what, this is not doesn't look like it. The drink doesn't look like I thought it would look. So there's that.
I don't know. I think ours is going to look different, but let's put them up.
Yeah, I don't have a candy cane in mind. God damn it! I need one.
I win.
You do win. Now, granted, let's give it a little try here. This again, for everybody that doesn't know, it's a candy cane.
It's very candy caney.
Well, dude, with the cherry brandy on the top and that peppermint schnapps, dude, that packs a very alcoholic candy cane taste. Oh. Can I ask you something
My
here?
candy cane broke.
Yeah, well, it happens. Did you go with the schnapps that's like 100 proof or 90 proof, or did you go with the 30%, the 60 proof, the standard?
The standard.
Yeah, I almost got the 100 proof, but I was like, why do I need that? It's peppermint schnapps. Like, it is what it is. I did have fun though. Elizabeth went with me to the stores on Saturday. That was our last round there to pick up the schnapps, and there was 2 different brands. I was like, which one do you think I should get? There's nominal difference in price, and she liked the one with the actual candy cane on it, so we got the one with the candy cane on it. The other one had mint leaves, not nearly as festive, and she understood we were making a Christmas drink. So. But not a bad drink. Now, I will say this. I'll probably have a couple more of these over the next few days, but then I'll probably hang this bitch up. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to.
What's a Christmas drink? I mean,
Yeah.
it's milky, so you can only have so much.
Yeah.
I put it up there with like the rum chata White Russian. A tasty drink, but definitely not something to become an alcoholic with.
Yeah.
It's just not the answer.
And how fucking rude of us here. Let's tell everybody what's in this bad boy. People are like, is this a real drink? This is a legit drink. Everybody knows that, especially myself, get a little bit anal about drinks that we have being in the bartender black book. I know it's not the end all be all, but just some Martha Stewart recipes online don't always fly with me if they're not verified with the book. This is in the book. And did you see the floater, the one right below it? Not the one I left in the toilet, but the drink that's right below the candy cane.
Yeah, with the cream de mint on it.
I have cream de mint too, and I was like, that looks pretty interesting, but this one seemed like a go-to. So what it is, everybody, just so you know, get a nice little serving glass, fill it with ice, 2 ounces of peppermint schnapps. If you want to get squirrely, which you might as well, you're probably gonna have this during the holidays. Go ahead and get the peppermint schnapps that's 100 proof or 90 proof. Take it up a notch if you want. Fuck it.
Just go with the double shot. You'll be okay too.
Yeah. It's not a super powerful drink. It's not one that's going to knock us on, it's not going to knock your dick in the dirt right out of the gate. Then you fill the glass remaining with milk. That's right. Straight up milk. I prefer whole milk. You guys go 2%. You go skim.
I went 2%.
Fag. Anyways. And then you float a 1/2 ounce of cherry brandy on the top, and then garnish with the candy cane like Bob did, like I neglected to do. I don't think I actually have any regular looking candy canes, or just like special ones. So, and the floating, in case anybody doesn't know how to do that, it's really fun actually to float anything, whether it's for presentation or just the way it's supposed to hit your palate first. We've had a few drinks where we float stuff on the top. Most notably, do you remember one where we floated that Merlot on the top or whatever? The wine?
Yeah.
That was an interesting
New York
drink.
sour.
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
It was.
But you can use a regular spoon, bartender spoon, both me and Bob use. You just turn it over on the flat curved side, and you just slowly pour your booze over the top of that, so it just kind of drizzles in and doesn't have a lot of penetration, stays right at the top of the beverage. Fantastic. And that my friend, is a candy can.
So I did not have any cherry brandy, because the last time when we got some, there was an option to get a cherry liqueur, and I got a cherry liqueur that was clear. So it didn't add any color. So in order to make my color, I actually, because I'm big on garnish, so I took some of my maraschino cherries and floated that on top to add that color and stay consistent with the flavor. So, whatever. It tastes fantastic. It's a great drink. I didn't think that the brandy that I have, being apple, would mesh that well palate-wise. So I kept it all maraschino liqueur, maraschino cherry juice.
Good for you. And honestly, I'm not sure how on the mark I am with mine. Mine just says cherry, and then it's all flavored brandy. So I don't know if it's a cherry brandy. I did go when I went to the store though, and I got the peppermint schnapps. I looked around. I was like, okay, do I have legit? Again, you know how I am about being authentic with our drinks. And I was in the brandy section. I saw a couple of other types of brandy. I didn't see a straight up cherry brandy. So I was like, maybe I do have the cherry brandy they speak of in the bartender book at home already.
And E&J makes one too. That's where I found it last time. I just didn't buy it because I was getting apple for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, Because it was good. That's why. That's why you're buying apple brandy. Because it's fucking.
Actually, the last time I bought apple brandy, it was on sale for like $8 for a fifth, Iffy and chain.
Did
and
we?
I just said yes, please.
Did we buy apple brandy for the Marilyn Monroe drink with the champagne?
Yes,
That's what it was. So it's champagne, apple brandy, and some grenadine or something like that.
that's exactly right. With 2 cherries.
Woo! Woo! 2 cherries and 2 Vicodin.
Which I pretty much do 2 cherries in every drink I make that has a cherry. Like all my whiskey sours have 2 cherries.
Oh,
No, I don't eat the cherries. I just leave them there and keep remaking the whiskey sour. It's just aesthetics.
It's, for me, I do the same thing. I do the same thing with limes in drinks too. Like Jamie will throw away the ice and the lime wedge, not the one that you squeeze in or anything like that. I'm like, dude, I just keep reusing that and I add more limes to it. You know what I mean? Let's keep it going.
So she does it the right way, and we do it like the manly shortcut way.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm also thinking to myself that the lime wedge that's in there for a few drinks starts to have more flavor anyways. I think that's a better lime. Don't throw it away, dude.
Well, either way, these drinks are pretty good. So they're not my favorite drink that we've done on the show, but it's a really good drink. It's just not strong enough for me. That's a lot of milk to endure for a drink for it not to be that strong. I mean, overall alcohol content on this is probably like a beer, maybe.
Well, yeah, if you think about it, because the cherry brandy, also too, brandy is not as strong as a regular liquor, right?
And it's only a half ounce. It's not like it's a ton.
A half ounce. So you got 2.5 ounces of booze, and I would say about 4 or 5 ounces of milk if you consider the ice in there. It's a pretty heavy overdosing on milk versus the booze for a proper drunk. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm getting older. So time is at a premium for me.
I ain't got time to fuck around with weak drinks.
That's right. I'm not going to drink a glass of milk and not get like a head change. If I have to drink 3 glasses of milk for a head change, first of all, my wife swears that I'm lactose intolerant. I say I'm just gassy all the time.
All the time.
Potato.
Especially when I have a lot of dairy. But anyway.
Well, it'll be like, well, you're really gassy today. I told you to stop drinking milk. And I'm like, I haven't drank a glass of milk in like 5 days. What do you got to say now?
You just smell bad.
Right. I'm just a man and I eat fast and I don't chew my food right. And I fart a lot. That's just how it is.
Damn right.
Come on.
Damn right.
Anyway.
Enough toxic masculinity. All right.
So, who's this guy?
Hey, I can't see his face, but that looks like our boy, Mr. Muskie, Elon Muskie. I swear they are gonna make a deodorant with just being like Elon Musk, and it's gonna smell like his ball sack or something like that. And people are gonna buy it. Guy's a money magnet right now. What an innovative guy, a forward thinker, though. Seriously, man. I actually haven't really dug into this topic prior to us just chatting about it earlier this week, but I did have a chance to get balls deep in what this guy thinks about.
That's deep.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, balls deep is that's good. But essentially, just so everybody knows, what we're really going to talk about today, and I don't know if we're going to just encompass and center it around Elon Musk. I said he's probably the one pushing for this advancement the most, but it seems like we're on a ticking clock here with the Earth and it being sustainable for human life for the long term. I don't want to be a negative guy or anything like that. So we've got to be interplanetary when it comes to civilization at some point, or we're just going to fade out whenever that happens. So there's a huge push right now to not only go to Mars. I mean, that's NASA and Musk and other governments and things as well. But there's a huge push by Mr. Musk and other people like him that want to colonize the red giant planet here.
It's not a giant.
It's not a giant. It's just a regular planet. Okay, well, go fuck yourself. Right. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're taking astronomy right now.
I already took it.
That's right. It's recent, though. That's why. I feel you. I feel you. Good for you. No, but yes. But he wants to have this done aggressively and very optimistically by 2050, which really doesn't seem quite feasible unless there's some rapid advancements in technology with travel and a couple other things. But still, life on another planet makes the most sense that it would be our closest neighbor in our solar system, which is Mars, and not too hot for us to be on. Bob, what do you think about this idea in general? Let's just start there.
Well, there's a few things going on here.
What are you eating, by the way, too? Ice?
Candy cane.
Oh, good for you.
So originally, SpaceX's plan was for landing its first transport in 2022.
Mhm.
That's kind of changed a little bit. That was with humans on it, a transport, right? With humans. So now the timeline is different. So now there's going to be 2 cargo loaders that will land on Mars in 2022, just dropping off cargo. And from what I have seen, it looks like they're going to have these robotic controlled modular stations that can transform into dwellings, labs, facilities, right? So they're going to send a bunch of these and then basically fucking play remote Legos from here for a couple of years and build out these shit.
And essentially like lay the groundwork and the foundation that you would need for people to actually, you can't just show up there and start colonizing. You have to have resources there.
You can't just go out into the prairie there and build a log cabin. So they've got to, build these dwellings and prep, right? But then 4 vehicles are supposed to now, the plan is to launch in 2024. 2 of those ships would be crewed. So 2 more ships of cargo and supplies, and then 2 ships of humans. Now, if you look at the rocket that he's been testing just last week, right? He tested his giant fucking spaceship, right?
Did he call it Starship, I believe? Something really.
Get the name of the latest one, the biggest one.
Yeah.
But unlike the Falcon 9, which is just like can carry a pod of a couple of dudes, or people, because they could be women. But unlike the Falcon 9, these are huge spaceships that can launch up and then land erect, just like the Falcon 9 does, right? So that they're reusable. So these can hold 100 people. So the one that we watched explode the other day, which the layperson is like, oh, it's a failure, it exploded. Fuck no, it's not a failure. This giant fucking spaceship just went up to 40,000 feet, came back down, and then flipped around on its head and then tried to land erect. A couple of variables are off and it came in too hot, but it did flip and it was landing correct. So once they fixed that booster control and everything, so everyone in Elon's world and SpaceX was very, very excited about what went down there. But everyone else that was watching was like, that was a huge disaster. Fuck, it was actually not a huge disaster.
I will tell you what, they were so excited they probably landed erect. Huh?
I think Elon had an erection the whole time. Have you seen his face when his rockets blast off? He looks like a little kid that just saw a nudie mag for the first time. Thanks, Boberm. But
you're absolutely right, though. He does. And we talked about this when we were talking about Skinwalker Ranch, too, with the guys. I think there's something with men and shooting off rockets that the little kid giddiness comes out of everybody, and he literally gets to play with the biggest fucking most powerful rocket known to man. So yeah, that's
in the history of man, right?
That's pretty effing exciting.
Yeah, this guy. I mean, he seems like a fucking weirdo and super eccentric. But when you're the 3rd or 4th richest man in the world, you can be weird and eccentric.
Oh,
I mean, that's like a requirement. I mean, which one is not?
Little sidebar here, just off the space thing onto the Elon thing a little bit. It is funny, man, watching some stuff about him. 10 years ago, people were like, this guy's fucking batshit crazy. He's got all these weird, lofty, unrealistic fucking goals. Literally, just 10 years ago. Look what billions and billions and billions of dollars does to your credibility with your crazy views. Because granted, still, having 1 million people is his goal or something like that. Having 1 million people on Mars by 2050 is probably not realistic. It's very aggressive, just with that timeline. However, people are kind of taking that as fact now, that it's just going to happen eventually. And that's the power of billions and billions of dollars behind your name, apparently.
I don't know, dude. If it's 2050 and there's like 500,000 people on Mars and they found some good internet there, would you go to Mars? Let's move to Mars, Scotty. Let's move to Mars.
I will tell you this. just like getting the coronavirus vaccine, I'm not going to be first in line. Okay. I want to see what happens a little bit with people. And yeah, I would not be like one of the frontier guys up there, on Mars, especially when I was watching a lot of stuff about just how much work and how much needs to be done, like to have like a self-sustaining kind of, city there. It's daunting. It's daunting to say the least. So being in like that kind of middle of the process would be very uneasy for me. But you're absolutely right. If things were looking on the up and up there, they had very high speed internet where I could stream all the, porn that I want. Absolutely. I think I definitely would go visit Mars. Me and you, sir, I would call you honey. I'd be Arnold Schwarzenegger and I would make that proposition to you. So yeah, I would do it.
Honey, let's do it. What do you think? Let's move to Mars.
Let's move to Mars. Like, I don't know about that. Quaid, Mars it's such a fucking shithole. But honestly, here's one big thing. Then we can get back maybe to a little bit more of our what ifs here about this Martian society. It would be really fucking boring for a long time on Mars. I was thinking about that too, and some of the shit I was watching for a long time. What would you do in your spare time? I mean, and I'm talking about the first pioneer type kind of guys that are there. Not much.
I don't think you'd have a lot of spare time.
You'd be working around the clock. You'd
I don't think it would be boring because I think you'd be consumed with like having to do things to survive. Right. So, I mean, when you're like, well, I have to finish this project. Why? Because if not, we run out of air in 3 days. So...
we die. We all fucking die.
So me and this team of scientists have to figure this shit out. Right.
I don't know.
I don't think it would be boring. I definitely wouldn't want to be up there in a state of constant engineering crisis. But after things are stabilized and there's habitats and there's a few different like cities to where there's like several different areas within a few hundred miles or whatever, and there's a million people, a few 100,000 people, 1 million, 2 million people, then maybe at that point maybe. And what if they go to Mars and they found out that that's where we started, and then we fucked that planet all up, and we had to terraform Earth and come over here like we're doing, and now we're going back.
That is a big just. Dude, that's a big hole you can jump down to, a big rabbit hole, because I was thinking about that. And that's one of the things too. One of the things that beyond what Elon Musk was, and Elon Musk, essentially this, just so anybody doesn't know, he is under the realization that eventually this Earth will not be habitable anymore. It's going to burn up just by definition of the sun growing a little bit more as it goes through its stages of a star. This place will get scorched. It will burn the fuck up. And now what seems a little bit chilly out there in Mars might end up having the ideal temperature for life again, or whatever, for human life. Who knows? But yeah, that's a big thing. That's another thing that NASA, since I want to say the 40s, there was a science fiction book too that was a big inspiration to Musk too. But that's like studying Mars, even if that's not the case. Like, we did come from Mars, but studying the cycle of what happened to Mars can help us further understand what could potentially happen to Earth and what we can do about it, right? Because it seems there's dried up riverbeds, dried up lakes looking kind of things. There's frozen water in different areas. It seems like it was much more, and there's proof that there was just a dramatic change in climate, very much like Earth over the last like billion years, whatever it is. Right. So studying that would kind of open up the door and help us understand not only if we did potentially come from this planet and we did jump ship and now we're kind of going back, which I think is really ironic, but also just in general, the life cycle of a planet being habitable. Right. So very, very interesting shit. I'm loving this idea though.
So there's the thing about Mars is I think you're like, you hit the nail on the head there, is terraforming Mars to make it habitable might definitely, give us a lot of experience in terraforming Earth again and fixing a lot of our shit here. So solving a lot of the problems on Mars and coming up with the technology and the means to do that, because there'll be a need, and need creates means. Right? You don't ever make anything unless someone needs it, and that's why you start making it. I guess some things are pure accident, but when you do that, then you can come back and be like, hey, we figured out that if you fucking take sand, you can make fresh water out of it or whatever the fuck, right?
Right?
And like,
Yeah.
you can start implementing some of those ideas here, from the molecular science or the biological science that they start learning on Mars. So I think there's going to be a benefit from being there. I think it's really exciting that I, I love Elon Musk. I mean, I think as a person, he's probably very disagreeable, and would suck to like hang with. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But I doubt he's very like awesome on an interpersonal level. But from an ambitious level, I mean, for those that don't know, Elon Musk started out. He was the coder for PayPal. Like he made PayPal with a buddy. Like
Mhm.
he made PayPal and then he sold it for $1.5 billion or whatever, right? I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars off of it. And then he moved on. And then after that is when he bought Tesla from those two dudes and made Tesla to what it is now. And then he's got SpaceX. He's got the underground vacuum tunnel system that he's working on, which then they shoot people at like 400 or 500 miles an hour in tubes, like the fucking bank takes your debit card. When you go to the drive-through, the bank takes your ID, just boom, you're in San Francisco until the earthquake. but he's got a lot of things in the tank. I want to say he owns at least a dozen businesses right now, but the one that everyone's eyeing is SpaceX. Everyone's waiting for the IPO, right? And will SpaceX ever be public? Maybe not. Maybe he just holds on to that one.
Maybe it's advantageous not to go public for I don't know.
If Elon Musk, as a private entrepreneur, lands on Mars, I know there's international space law, but does he just claim himself the emperor of Mars and tell everyone to fuck off, put in defense systems, and be like, yeah, fuck it, this is mine?
Yeah, honestly, that's not far fetched. I mean, the reason, like the backbone of why he is even motivated to go to Mars is because of territory, right? He compared it, his drive and his overwhelming expedience that he wants to do it in to get to Mars. And he said, why do people climb mountains? They climb mountains to rule it, to conquer it. You know what I mean? I did this. There's people that die on Everest every single year. This is like one of his, again, paraphrasing one of his quotes or what have you. And same thing for him. So who's to say he doesn't do that? He puts a fucking Planet Musk in a flag of his face or something like that, or the Tesla symbol or something like that on the Martian planet. Who knows? Be whatever. Planet Musk. That would be his best business venture yet, if you ask me. It's like I just fucking own my own planet. It's kind of a big deal.
Well, and real estate wise, it's like 2/3 the size of Earth, right? A little bit smaller, but still, there's no oceans, so that's all land mass. I mean, there's a lot of land out there. What's underneath it? I don't know. We'll have to get there so we can start drilling down to see if there's huge aquifers and shit still underneath it, like there are on Earth. Then there's a water source for a long time till they figure shit out. Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be very curious. I'm so excited that we get to experience this in like the prime of our life, right? We're not like at the twilight of our life when this is happening. We're not so young that we don't understand the significance of it, right? It's just kind of normal. Because by the time Jadzia is like 20 years old, like people being on Mars is just the way it's always been for her. I mean, they're going to be there in a few years, and she's going to not even be 10 years old.
It'll be extremely comparable to how we view just man being on the moon. It's old news to us, right? It happened when our parents were kids. You know what I mean? So, it's a very interesting time. It's very exciting. I almost wish that I was this age right now for kind of the genesis of all this, because it really is. It's very, very, giant leaps towards this end goal that seems so far away right now. And then I'd also like to transport myself in the future about 100 years from now and see it as like, oh, you going to Mars this afternoon or whatever? Yeah, I got to take the Martian shuttle. I'll be down there. Yeah, I'll be down there for a business trip for a week or something like that. I think there's going to be this intergalactic orbital highway, and there's going to be like the hugest gas station in the solar system is going to be the moon. It's like a little hop to the moon, and then to the moon to the Martian planet. It seems really fucking cool, man.
It's very easy to take off from the moon. Right?
Gravity, lack of gravity.
Well, there's zero atmosphere, right? So you can go. I mean, there's gravity, but not a whole lot. But there's zero atmosphere. There's like no resistance. It's just you can just go. Mars actually has like 10% of the atmosphere that we have, so there is a little bit of atmosphere there. But from the moon, so they're talking about building a base on the moon. There's even talk that they figured out how to create water on the moon, with some of the ice in the soil.
They have a
So
machine. I think they have a machine too, a rover type machine that has the technology for how they, not water, but this is for Mars, where they can generate oxygen out of the carbon dioxide that is the majority of the Martian atmosphere is carbon dioxide, a little bit of like nitrogen or something like that. But literally, we can turn that into oxygen. It's almost eerily similar in a cool fucking way to what they do in Total Recall at the end, right? Where they literally like break through those ice caps or whatever with those big fucking alien heaters and create like this livable oxygen based atmosphere. It would be interesting if we could do that and like not even need to live in domes eventually on Mars. Huh?
oh, just completely terraform the thing. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's possible, but I think we're a good 100, 200 years away from being able to even see any progress towards that. I think that's going to take a long time for a planet that size, but
Sure.
it is very, very exciting just that all this has happened. I mean, when we were kids, Total Recall was out. You know what I mean? It was always a dream, and not much unlike Elon Musk. I mean, he's like our age.
He's a few years older than us. I think I want to say he's mid 40s. If I
Okay, so he's 49.
okay, he's
a Gen
about
X,
a decade.
right? Gen X.
Yeah.
So still, not that different. So we grew up with these dreams about Mars, dreams about like, oh, this is impossible. It's not impossible anymore. And now we're looking at actually doing it. And so these tunnel systems that he's trying to build, if you don't think that that's not also a viable way to travel in Mars in between colonies, then I don't know what to tell you, because that's absolutely the easiest way, because they're already a vacuum tunnel, so you don't need air. So it would fit in perfectly with what he's trying to do on Mars, right? So I don't know. I'm very excited over the next couple of years to see what Elon does. Very excited to invest in SpaceX if I get the chance to.
Yeah, man. And you know what's crazy is this is not what if anymore. I mean, his company is commissioned to be a big part of what's going on with this moon base and just all of the launchings that are happening on the moon in 2021, I think 2022. And then everything else is already slated for 2024 and 2025 if things go well. And then you'll have the first small group of people that should be going to Mars after there's going to be the unmanned one that just brings a bunch of the supplies, and then that's like 2024, and then 2025 would be the manned vessel that goes there. They stay there for 9 months, then they bring them back in 2026. They have to study them, because that's the other big question mark is living on the Martian surface. Yeah, we've had the rover grab fucking samples of the dirt and shit like that, but we have no idea what long-term exposure just being on Mars, radiation wise, in other words, could potentially harm the human body. So they got to kind of they got to take that off the checklist, or, check that off the checklist, essentially bring people back, study them for a while. Everybody's okay. Then they can actually start sending like an actual legit team of scientists. I'm sure like botanists and other things, right? Like all kinds of, it'd be interesting, dude. It's essentially like, once we get to that point, Bob, it's essentially like you're Noah for like the space arc, right? And you're like getting to pick like the most essential people to build a foundation for a society and colonize.
It's your engineering degrees, kids.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Computer, mechanical, electrical.
Mm-hmm.
That's the future right there.
Yeah.
I also, because we have a knack for having topics on this show that become super relevant either in the days following our show or in the week leading up, right? We've been known for this, and for those stiffies that aren't paying attention, we keep coming up with things that either come to fruition and it happens, or we talk about it and then it hits the headlines, like Ghislaine Maxwell rings a bell, right? We talk about Ghislaine, and then all of a sudden, like 3 days after the show comes out, she's fucking arrested. You know what I mean? And found after like a year and a half of hiding.
Oh yeah, we
So-
did. We did our Epstein episode before that, right before all that.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, exactly. So, and this one's interesting too. So, on December 16th, NASA selected Blue Origin and their New Glenn rocket for launch services. So, it, in line with this, old Lex Luthor himself, Jeff Bezos,
he, he does remember. I like that. The bald head. Oh, okay.
it does. He's
I'm
right
with
there,
it.
right?
I'm with
The
it.
ex-wife that took most of his money.
Wow.
But so they own a space company as well. And they've been competing with SpaceX for years, right? Called Blue Origin. Right.
Mhm.
So I'll just kind of read this article. This is posted on blueorigin.com. And this is from December 16th, so 4 days ago. So let me just read this. It's a quick read. Today, NASA awarded Blue Origin a NASA Launch Services 2, parenthesis, NLS 2, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contract to launch planetary Earth observation, meaning satellites, exploration, and scientific satellites for the agency aboard New Glenn, Blue Origin's orbital reusable launch vehicle, not dissimilar from the Falcon 9. The contract allows Blue Origin to compete for missions through launch service task orders issued by NASA. Project managers at NASA centers around the country can now design spacecraft to take advantage of New Glenn's unique 7-meter fairing and heavy lift performance for a broad range of missions. Quote, we are proud to be in NASA's launch services catalog and look forward to providing reliable launches for future NASA missions aboard New Glenn for years to come. The award builds on Blue Origin's existing partnership with NASA and will advance science and exploration to benefit Earth, end quote, said Jared Jones, Senior Vice President of New Glenn, Blue Origin. New Glenn is a single configuration, operationally reusable heavy lift launch vehicle powered by 7 BE-4 liquefied natural gas rocket engines. The vehicle's 7-meter fairing provides more than double the usable volume of any existing launch vehicle, including the Falcon 9. So this is just a news that hit this week. Now SpaceX has a competitor for NASA contracts. So we're going to see a lot more Blue Origin launches. They also have the reusable rockets that flip over and land erect, just like in the sci-fi movies, right? So I just like getting erect in as many times as I can in a show.
I like hearing it. I'm not going to lie.
but just an interesting thing that not only is did Elon update his time to 2024, but we also now have Blue Origin and Bezos getting into it. Where you at, Bill Gates? Where's your rockets, buddy?
He's busy
you're just
right
trying
now.
to microchip vaccines.
Yeah.
I get it. I got it.
Fucking wasting your goddamn time, man. But you know what? This is the beauty of two private companies having a similar idea, because you know what that's going to do? You're an educated man. That's going to create some healthy competition. That's going to drive innovation just that much more. So
It's going to
God
drive
bless.
costs down, and it's going to increase research and development.
It's going to be fantastic, dude.
It's exactly
I'll tell you
the
what.
two things that happen.
I'll tell you what too. There's people there's a billionaire Asian dude that's already paid for it, but when is it slated for now? I can't remember. I think they're supposed to do it in like a couple years, 2020. Or anyways, where Elon Musk is going to be taking people on a little vacation tour around the moon, right? Where they're basically going to circle the moon and everything. They're going to have like luxury like flights there that are 10 days long. Have you heard about that? I know that you heard about it like a while ago. Like he'd start flying.
No, it
people.
sounds like a space cruise.
Yeah,
But
it's like a space cruise, but literally, like, who's gonna have the money to go there? This is not gonna be.
well,
I honestly,
there are over 1,000 billionaires in the U.S. alone. So those are the people.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, and that's the other thing that kind of sucks too. Even if it does progress and we have some fabulous, just a couple of like just fabulous technological advancements with either being able to get to Mars a hell of a lot quicker, because it takes what 180 to like 200 and something days to like with what's going on now to travel to Mars and back or something like that.
With current rockets, it's 9 months. Now they have built new rockets that are plasma driven, but that can cut that down to like 2-3 months. But they haven't developed a housing that can contain the rocket without fucking melting. So
there's that. I guess that
there's
little
problems.
detail is like
Because
it's
it's essentially riding a rocket that's powered by a lightsaber.
right.
It's pretty
I like
legit.
I like that. But they've really they've turned over every stone here to thinking about the Martian thing. That's why I get really excited about it too. Even like I can't remember but what actually powers the engines in the space shuttles that get back and forth are elements that are on Mars as well. You know what I mean? Which is really cool. So there's refueling capability from natural resources on both Mars that equal the same resources on Earth too, which is pretty, and the moon. So literally you could have refueling happen. Even if there's not fuel there, they could make it. It's pretty exciting stuff, bro. I'm fired up about it. I don't know, man.
It burns on liquid oxygen. So
yeah,
since they can make oxygen on Mars, they can make oxygen for the liquid oxygen.
Yeah, and they can make that too on the Martian planet. So there was something there was the majority liquid oxygen and some other element too that they used.
Kerosene, rocket grade kerosene.
Oh well, Jesus Christ, that sounds flammable. Rocket grade kerosene.
You know the easiest way to light a campfire?
What do you got there? That's my kerosene there. That's high quality. It's dank kerosene.
it's my high grade kerosene that I take camping. This fucker will light a campfire in a monsoon.
Yeah. I love that, man. Fun stuff, man. And yeah, Elon is an interesting character too. I'll tell you that.
So if you stiffies out there aren't paying any attention to SpaceX and Mars because 2020's got you all fucked up with politics and coronavirus, please take a sidebar out of all of those immediate things and to take a gander into the future with Elon Musk and take a ride down the rabbit hole with us of what's going on as far as advancement of society, advancement of exploration, advancement of preservation of the human race. There's some positive things going on in 2020 along with the negative. So don't let the MSM news cycles like get you too down all the time. And you do have to look for silver linings, and this is definitely fucking one of them in 2020.
Fuck yeah, man. I think, and dude, the SpaceX launch to the International Space Station earlier this year was fucking amazing too, man. There's been some great shit. It's literally reinvigorated an entire fucking generation about space exploration again, just like we did back in the 60s.
It's also, I was just going to say, it's also created a 2020s space race internationally. China just landed a robot on the moon. So that'll be coming back. So that's cool. So China, Russia, America, back at it 60 years later. Get in there.
All we need now to make it feel just at home is a nice little like nuclear war scare.
Which, never really went away.
No, it didn't.
It's still hanging around.
Yeah, this is true. Well, and it's exciting too, because China could be the first country to bring a deadly disease to the moon. So that's always nice.
Only two things scare me, and one is nuclear war.
What's the other one? Connies.
Nomads, small hands smell like cabbage.
How random is that? But seriously, there is something wrong with, they're interesting carnival folk. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but you know why? Primarily, it's not on the notes, Bob. Hey, by the way, how the Cowboys doing?
I know. I keep looking. They're winning. It's 24-17.
I tell you what, man, as the game progresses, they're doing worse, which is intense. When I first looked, it was 14-0, then 17-7, now 17-24. Is it almost the end, though? It's got to be almost the end, right? What do they got, like a fourth quarter?
It's almost the end of the third quarter.
Oh, okay. Well, they got plenty of time to fuck up the game. Let's call it right now.
They have plenty of time to cowboy it up.
That's supposed to be a good thing, but they're going to do it Brokeback Mountain style.
That's right. No, they'll get something out of it if it was Brokeback Mountain style. They're going to do more like the 8 Seconds Cowboy of Luke Perry.
Luke Perry. R.I.P. baby.
Drunken Cowboy.
R.I.P. Best fucking sideburns in the business in the early 90s. I'll tell you that right now.
It might be the best sideburns in the history of cinema.
This is
I don't
true.
know.
This is true.
I don't know. Kurt Russell has had some impressive ones over the years too. He's in the running. We should just do a show on that. A whole topic based off of fucking epic sideburns.
Yeah, epic facial hair too. I mean, you want to go the mustachio, you can't really beat like a Tom Selleck, even a Burt Reynolds. You got to get in there too. You know what I mean?
Tom Selleck, the epitome of the push broom.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
He's like an advanced tier. What's his name? Bolton, the politician, because he looks like Dr. Seuss.
He does. He's got a little fan brusher under there too. Yeah, no, I've seen that. Mm-hmm. What's his name? I don't know, but I know exactly what you're talking about. He needs to trim that bad boy. But I
want to say Michael Bolton, but that's just because I'm an Office Space fan.
Yeah,
I know it's not Michael Bolton.
Bolton. Yeah. It's Mike.
We're a couple of idiots, but that's why you guys listen, and that's why you love us. Remember to subscribe.
Bam! Fuck yeah! Subscribe or die, pussy.
Or just
Yes.
not
Watch.
catch next week's show.
You're like, oh look, we just lost a couple subscribers. That wasn't a good tactic. We'll try something else next time. Well, Bob, wrapping it up. We're done with we're done with Mars. I mean, I don't think we're gonna have our opportunity, especially being in our socio-economical status of not being the 0.01% of the highest income. I don't think we're ever gonna get to go. That's too bad. But maybe our children's children. I'm not sure.
Don't say never. I've got some ideas that I should run by you.
That's weird, Bob. But yeah, I like where you're going there. Run it by me. But no. Let's end with this on our conversation about inhabiting Mars. When do you think? Obviously, this is a bet that both of us are probably going to be senile or dead by the time it happens. No. Let's pull it back a little bit. When do you think they will have the year they'll have a manned mission to Mars? Be it one person, be it two, whatever.
I'm going to say 2025.
You're going to say right on schedule. No more setbacks.
They're saying 2024. I'm just anticipating another 1 year setback.
I'm going to go 2026.
So either way, fuck it soon.
Yeah, really soon, bro. This is exciting stuff. Let's switch gears a little bit. It is nearly, which my daughter is super fucking. But do you guys do Elf on a Shelf? Do you do that?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Ours is named Twinkle.
Ah, very nice.
And,
very nice.
She's a nomad. She's like a carny.
Mm.
Every day she's someplace wild.
Yeah, I mean,
she made cookies a few nights ago.
It's interesting I think you have to do some of the similar kind of setups. Now, let me ask you this real quick.
Scott, I don't have to do anything. She does it on her own.
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course. Keeping the Christmas spirit alive and well in the Stiff Truth, everybody. But no, I have, because I don't really do much of this. Jamie does. She racks her brain every night as we've been doing it for a couple of weeks, whatever. It starts to get a little harder close to when she leaves, like the setups, how are you going to set up now? It's funny. I think one of the best ones was last year when Jamie had the microwave propped open. There was a bag of popcorn in there that was spilled a little bit in the popcorn or in the microwave and then down on the oven. And Sparkle is our elf on a shelf. Her hanging out
that's
there.
her stripper name.
Yeah, Sparkle. That's the stripper name. That's what she goes by. But it was cool.
Mine has a stage name of Twinkle.
Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, it was just fun. It was fun because it was like she was partying all night, eating a bag of popcorn, falling out of the thing. But yeah, it gets really rough. I don't have to come up with any of the creative ways that she's going to be in the morning though. Do you do that, or is that Jess's thing?
It's both. So the other day, I actually made a Christmas card and put special font and wrote a big old letter and made it rhyme and
gay. No, I jest.
So yeah, I do that, and I'm normally the one that remembers to move her around.
Ah, interesting.
We'll forget. Oh, I gotta sneeze.
Get it? Come on. Come on. There we go. I'm glad that you didn't give us the sneezing blue balls there and just like cop
I gotta be
out.
careful, dude, because I have stitches in my mouth. So it's very scary every time I sneeze.
No.
You're like doing the thing, and
And it's
then
to
you gotta like
enlighten.
slowly come down off it. Oh, okay, I'm okay.
To enlighten everybody there, Bob's okay. Bob's okay. He just took a shot in the mouth that he wasn't ready for. Had to get some stitches. It's not a big deal. Happens to everybody that does that kind of stuff.
Yeah, normally when you get the shot in the mouth, you're on the ground looking up.
This was different.
But this time I was laying down and he was on top of me. Very different.
But hey, it's 2020. You got to try new things. You got to mix it up. Good for you.
He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna get this needle, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Oh,
You're all slapping.
different shots. Okay.
No.
Now the game is tied.
They're cowboying up, aren't they?
They are cowboying it up.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's talk about something a little bit more positive as the Cowboys slowly let the lead slip away completely.
Oh no. This is all along with the plan. This is the plan. It's like, as a Cowboys fan, I'm kind of like a Trump supporter, like a Trump base person. Like, oh no, this is all his plan. No, he meant to lose the election. He meant to lose all those cases. No, the electoral college votes is all part of it. You'll see. So the Cowboys, like them losing, like and being really bad, it's all part of the plan. They're trying to like show people how bad they are. So when they make the playoffs, they'll be like,
We'll shock everybody.
yeah, no one will know their actual playbook because Mike McCarthy's a genius.
I see what they're doing right now. So they're basically putting on a display of shittiness as like a Trojan horse
It's
into
a
the playoffs.
season-long rope-a-dope. That's what it is. Because we all want to be 4-9.
We all do. God damn it. Hey, isn't that what you are in fantasy too?
It is.
Dude, I ended 5-8, so I
But
didn't.
I'm going to win this week, so 5-9.
Woo! Yeah, we like that. Well, let's see here. Oh, looks like everybody's home. That's good stuff, man. Well, I'll tell you what. One more thing I wanted to chat about with you, Bob, before we tell each other to fuck off for the rest of the day. Christmas.
He's lying. We still have to get together and edit this show.
Dude. Movie magic, bro. Movie magic, man. Come on.
Sorry, a little glimpse into the old sausage factory. You know what I'm saying?
But we have this is our last show before Christmas. I do want to let everybody know too, just as we're getting close anyways to the end, is we're gonna take a little bit of a break for the holidays. Bob and I thought that would be justifiable, to say the least, but not to worry. We've got some exciting shit that's going to actually be out next week too, which is just going to recap all the craziness that you've heard from us at the Stiff Truth over almost a year. Isn't that right, Bob?
It is. Season 1 is coming to an end.
I know. No, shh, it's okay. It's okay.
So this is our last live show from season 1. Next week we'll be doing a best of 2020 show, and we'll be wrapping up season 1. It will be our season finale.
Woo! Come on, baby.
And then we'll move on, and we'll take a couple of weeks off, and then in January when we start taping our shows again, we'll get back into it, and we'll be on season 2, baby.
Woo! It's been a wild ride. Can't wait for the next chapter, my friend. But what I did want to chat about, as we are right here at the Christmas time, and I'm going to tell you, Bob, I actually had a hard time with this, not like the best gift I got, but that I gave. I had a lot of thinking went on, But basically, we're talking about Christmas right around the corner. We both celebrate Christmas. We love Christmas. It's fun. What is, we were thinking to ourselves, the best Christmas gift you ever received? What was it? It could be something small, whatever. I just want to hear that. And then vice versa, the giving. The best Christmas gift we've ever given, at least in our opinion, right? Because we don't know unless somebody told us that was the best Christmas present I have ever gotten. Bob, thank you so much for that. And then you wrote it down. That was the best Christmas present I've ever bought. But Bob, I'm gonna let you go first. And usually when I do that, you say the same fucking thing I say. So let's hope this is not. No, but seriously, Bob, take the floor,
So
baby.
giving's easy. I'm gonna say just what I'm able to give my children this year amidst the pandemic and the economic downturn and everything. And they're probably gift wise going to have the most
Close.
amazing Christmas they've ever had. And for me, that's just I feel so fortunate and I have so much gratitude for being in the position to be able to do that and provide that for them when I know that so many people out there going through their hardship. So the Christmas and the gifts that I'm able to give this year are really big for me and I feel really again fortunate that I'm able to do that. So this year's gifts are probably good. I can't say what that is, but I will just say this year's gifts because my son does listen to the show, and it's not Christmas yet. So
Yeah, no, you don't want to ruin it right now.
now received, that one's easy too. In 1992, 92, yeah, 92. I got a Super Nintendo from my grandma.
We talked about this briefly on our Game Changer episode, dude. Can we walk through how that happened a little bit here?
Yeah, so first off, I always loved going to my grandma's for Christmas. I went to both grandmas growing up for Christmas. So our whole day was like spend the night at grandma's house, Christmas gifts, Santa comes over there. And then in the morning it was go to, do the thing, have like an early lunch or whatever, and then go to my dad's mom's and go to my other grandma's house, 1 or 2 o'clock or whatever. And, they live like half an hour away, not a huge deal in the Dallas area.
Mhm.
But this time, there was a box there that was marked Bob and Chris. Well, it was Bobby back then. Bobby and Chris, right? Chris and Bobby. And it was to both of us. So right away, you're like, fuck. I have to share this gift with this asshole.
I don't know. Already, you're like, not even. I don't need to get my own fucking gift. Of course, same.
So that asshole's my brother.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, love you. So we opened it up though, and both of us just freak out. Just freak out. Like Super Nintendo, it came out earlier that year, so it was the new hotness. Now we grew up really poor, and my parents they did a great job with what we had. Don't even get me wrong, but we did grow up poor, right? I was on the free lunch program and shit like that. So to get something like that for me and my brother was so meaningful. And I don't quite think that my grandma uh, ever understood how momentous that was for me and my brother. And for me personally, to this day, having gotten that Super Nintendo from back in the day, I bet you my brother still has it.
Huh.
but
Love that.
But it was just so epic, that just no words can really kind of explain to my grandma who, passed in 2005. But just, how solid that was. Because, those are $200 back then. It's not like they were cheap, 92, $200 is a lot more than it is now.
This is true. This is very true.
But then I think that's the two, most epic gives and given. And, there's the whole, I asked my wife to marry me once. That wasn't like on Christmas Day. It was like in December, but, so
well, that counts.
I think that's a little bit different than a Christmas thing, a very special day, but still different.
No, I love that. Very, very good. And, again, foot and mouth over here, the giving. Well, in typical Scott fashion, I've got a couple answers.
You got to talk out of this side while talking out of this side.
But no, I will say I was going to say something pretty similar here. I can't say the actual gift. We'll talk about it when we reconvene in the new year. But this year's gift for my daughter and Jamie are probably the best gifts I could give. Not just because, like you had said, I do want to emphasize as well. I've been very grateful not only to be pandemic proof, so to speak, financially, but also maybe even pro pro-pandemic in the sense of I've probably been doing better during the pandemic financially, which is, hey, I don't work for Clorox, so that's pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, I think both gifts. One is just, again, just to give people a little hint, a clue, or what have you. But one is literally, and I just can't say it because she's in the other room. I don't want to hear. I want her to hear. My daughter does not listen to the show. She's 6 years
Oh,
old.
come on. It's wholesome family fun.
No, Elizabeth does not listen to the show yet, but she's in the other room. But it's basically to nurture something that's blossoming in her, and it's a passion that she has and that we noticed a little while ago. So just excited to be able just to feed the passion, so to speak, with the instrument, to give you a clue. And then obviously too, we all know, she already knows, the Peloton bike. It's a pretty dirty one, that I think
it's pretty dank gift.
Yeah, it's pretty dank. So I think those are going to be super fun. Now, on the receiving end, myself, it's very similar, but I will say that when me and my brother, my older brother Alex, who's passed, got the combo gift in 90 or 89, it was. We talked about this during Game Changer too. It's almost identical. It's when we got our Sega Genesis and our 13-inch Sony Trinitron TV, cutting edge shit. There it was. My dad was like, "Here, you guys fucking leave me alone, or you've got the entertainment system, the cutting edge shit. Get after it." But dude, just that gift combined, because I had such a good relationship with my brother, especially when we were younger too, it was another way for us to compete. We're 4 years apart, so it was a hyper competitive kind of thing between me and him, and it just gave us another platform to go nuts when we were younger. So that was really, really fun. But I will say, because I got to answer it a couple ways here, I think the most exciting one just for me was in 1996. Yes, 1996. And that's when my dad got me my first guitar. That was super cool. Yeah, because I got a Fender Squire, and like the amp that came with it, and like a package deal, because again, I just really expressed that I wanted to start playing guitar, but my dad is not a fool. He didn't want to try to go out and get me like a ridiculous
no Telecaster first go around.
Yeah. Oh, here is a signature Les Paul engraved by Les Paul. I just picked up for like 10 G's. Have fun.
It's only like 20 G's. It's no big deal.
Yeah. So, but still a decent guitar. But having the whole package and literally getting that and being able to plug in and try to play music, which was so frustrating when you first start playing guitar, still was probably the most exciting, because it was something that, that stuck with me till the end of time. Funny enough too, my younger brother, Vinny, who's now 29, he still has that Fender Squire, because I gave it to him, and he still has it in his repertoire. He's got other guitars and basses now, but he got to keep old reliable, in the wheelhouse. So that was definitely the most exciting for me personally. It was definitely guitar. But I have to say, when I was thinking about this, that close second, I didn't want to mirror you or try to avoid having the same. Getting a gaming system when you're a little fucking kid is super fucking exciting, dude, especially when it's a marquee system that you play for. I log so many hours. I got to say, years. I've logged years of time probably on the Sega Genesis, which is just something that it's hard to break away from the psyche. You know what I mean? With how important that is. So good shit.
Yeah, I completely agree. Gaming systems, even to this day, I would have gotten an Xbox One X if they existed.
Same thing with the PS5. I honestly,
they don't exist.
And here's my thing. I think we talked about this already, but I'm okay with not having a PS5, because I know there's going to be some kinks and some bugs that are really going to be annoying. And the newer model, that version 2 they come out with here in like 6 months, is probably going to be way more dialed in. But I am really upset that I can't get down right now, because I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of stuff. But since I know it doesn't exist now to purchase, I'm okay with things. I'm coping.
Well, I'm out of school now for 2 months at least.
Hold on, everybody.
Right?
Woo! We love that.
Little golf clap. But so I want to get down. But yeah, it's just there's no such thing as an Xbox Series X right now. So fuck it. I already told my son that's the next Christmas thing. It just is. I'm not paying some kid $1,500 on eBay. I was like, no, that ain't happening, dude. I'd rather build you a gaming PC for like $900, $1,000. That's
If he
ridiculous.
if he's got any pushback there, you build me a gaming computer. I'm okay with it if you want to.
I built good ones. I do. Mine's a beast right now, and I built it under $1,000.
We love that. We love that. Well,
So,
I think we're
go
about.
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was
It's all
gonna,
you.
I was gonna say I think we're about done. I think we're about hashed out what we need to. Unless did you have something else though, Bob? Because I did interrupt you in mid sentence.
No, I was just gonna say like the normal stuff. Word of mouth, guys. Tell your friends.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
I have a new shirt design that I should be wrapping up today for our Raging Stiffies on Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, anything helps if you'd like to help us out through Patreon. One-time donations are accepted, or you can sign up for a membership. But everything does go to better the show.
Literally, and just to interject here, just for morale purposes for me and Bob, even like, the lowest one, was it $2, $3 or something like that? Just, it all helps, even if it doesn't really help at the end of the day, because it's such a low quantity. It's the thought that counts, and it would boost our morale. So there's that. Do you want to be a good person around the holidays? That's what.
That's right. Give the stiff truth Merry Christmas and boost us with some Patreon.
Let's go.
Every dollar of that stays in the show. It does not go to Scott and my pocket ever.
Well, we could say it maybe goes in our stomachs though, because part of our budget is for alcohol. So
yeah, but
let's not get murky about that.
Yeah, but anyway, so anyway, Patreon, tell people that are like-minded and have the dark humor and are just as depraved as Scott and I and you stiffies out there about the show. Spread the word. And that's it. It's been a great year. I'm glad you guys are with us. I mean, like I said, next year's season finale, season 1, it'll be a best of show. So we won't be covering any topics next week unless something crazy happens over the next week, but I don't see that happening. So that's it for me.
Yeah, buddy. And I'll tell you this too. I'm super pumped for the best of episode, guys. You'll enjoy that. It's literally going to be a mash of all kinds of funny shit over the past almost year that we've been doing this. So Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. We'll see you guys soon.
See you guys. See you next year.
Put on some pants at least, dude. You're going to get some skid marks on the bottom of your chin.